We'll reconvene the meeting, and we'll now stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And please join me. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now for the moment of silence this evening, just some positive thoughts. We have about, I think, somewhere around 3 weeks before school is back in session. So let's just think about the time we have between now and then. Happy times ahead of us, and then we get the students back into our presence, and we'll start imparting the knowledge that we are trying to impart to them during the next school year. So let's just think about this time together. Thank you. Thank you. Now we have a closed session report out by the clerk of the board.
Yes, thank you. 4.1, the Board of Trustees unanimously voted to accept the superintendent's retirement effective December 31st, 2025, and discuss the process to conduct an internal search for the next superintendent. 4.2, no report of action taken regarding negotiations. 4.3, no report of action regarding personnel. Thank you.
Thank you. Next are reports. We have student speakers. We have one student speaker, and that's Haley Sotelo.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Haley Sotelo, and I will be a sophomore at Savannah this upcoming school year. It's been a while since I've been in this space, so I wanted to thank you all for all the work that you've been doing with food distributions and Know Your Rights forums through community schools, and congratulate Mr. Matsuda on announcing your retirement. Congratulations. I'm here today for 2 reasons. One of them is to ask that you all create and publicize a plan on how to protect students once the school year starts, especially because of the recent ICE activity in and around the Anaheim area and Anaheim communities that surround many of our schools. The second reason is due to the fact that ethnic studies is on today's agenda to be only a semester. As a student who has taken a semester class through dual enrollment, while it can be very convenient, it isn't always the best way to go. With a class like ethnic studies, there is a lot of curriculum to get through. If students only have ethnic studies for a semester, you can't be sure that students will fully understand or get something out of the class. While a semester class can be a great option, for some students, that doesn't always mean that it's the best option for all students. Thank you all.
Okay, next I'd like to recognize some representatives in the audience. We have one this evening, Lauren Klasker from Fullerton Joint Union High School District, so welcome, Lauren. I don't see any other association members, representatives, so I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. Nope, not yet. Not yet. Just recognizing you. Now you can speak.
We didn't work too hard.
Okay, we have to go in order of this. Now, Alta, would you like to speak?
No.
Thank you. I'm a rookie at this part. All right. Good evening, President O'Neill, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Matsuda, Executive Cabinet, students, families, and members of the school community joining us both in person and online. I think most of the people are online today. We begin the 25-26 school year with our leadership advance today, this morning. It was designed to empower educational leaders with the tools and knowledge to lead with purpose and equity. This year's event featured acclaimed author and equity champion Shane Safer, co-author of Street Data, as our keynote speaker. Her powerful message underscored the importance of listening deeply to those closest to the margins, our students, families, and staff, and using that street data to drive transformative, equity-centered change across our schools. This summer, Catella High School demonstrated extraordinary leadership and community impact through its 2025 Summer Resource Drive. Assistant Principal Angel Acosta and cheer coach Dana Corona led a heartfelt initiative in response to the urgent needs of families affected by recent immigration enforcement activity. What began as a small donation quickly evolved into a comprehensive home delivery program, ultimately supporting over 385 families across Anaheim, Santa Ana, Garden Grove, Fullerton, and nearby communities. The personalized care packages included groceries, hygiene supplies, immigration resources, and handwritten notes from Catella's cheer team. Mr. Acosta's leadership was key in securing partnerships with organizations such as Northgate Markets, Community Action Partnership of Orange County, the Orange County Conservation Corps, and Recovery Road. These collaborations provided thousands of diapers, fresh produce, wet wipes, and even student scholarships. The effort earned recognition from board member Jessica Guerrero, Anaheim Council member Kristen Moss, and Mayor Ashley Aiken, who expressed interest in attending future events. This initiative exemplifies the spirit of service and student empowerment that defines Catella, especially in this milestone year as the school celebrates its 60th anniversary. Oxford Academy also continues to exemplify academic excellence and innovation. The school was recently awarded a $16,000 grant from CTE Institute for Teaching for 25-26 school year, engineering and robotics at Oxford Academy and Cambridge Virtual Academy project. In a record-breaking and highly competitive grant cycle, Oxford's proposal stood out for its creativity, thoughtful planning, and alignment with IFT's strength-based, educated-led values. The grant will provide transformative STEM learning experiences that elevates robotics and engineering education across both campuses. Oxford students continue to thrive in multiple areas. At the FBLA National Leadership Conference held this year in Anaheim, Oxford brought 15 high school and for the first time 16 middle school competitors. The high school team placed in 4 events while the middle school team had 8 top finishers, including national champion Ashika Rapipati, who earned first place in financial literacy. In addition, Oxford's journalism program, under the leadership of teacher and advisor Ilis Hind, earned statewide acclaim as the Gamut was featured in CTA News for receiving the prestigious John Swett Award for Media Excellence. The student publication continues to uplift student voice through thoughtful and high-quality journalism. This summer also featured the Anaheim Innovative Mentorship Experience, which provided students with hands-on real-world learning in fields aligned with their passions and career goals. Through strong partnerships with local businesses, organizations, our students develop professional skills and build confidence in their future pathways. We're excited to start and launch our 25-26 school year. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody from PTSA here this evening? PTA? No? Okay. Moving on to presentations, Western High School and Orangeview Junior High School redesign, and Dr. Freed.
Yes, it gives me great pleasure to bring up Ms. Moreno and Ms. Mindy Crawford, the proud co-principals of the Orangeview Western 712 School, and their team. They're going to walk us through a journey of the great work they've been a part of.
Good evening, President O'Neill, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Matsuda, Executive Cabinet, students, families, and members of our school and community that are joining us online today. My name is Bindi Crawford, co-principal at Orangeview Western 712 School, and I'm honored to be joined this evening by Lorena Moreno, my fellow co-principal, Shamila Castro, our community school teacher lead, and Sean Fleshman, newly National Community Schools Learning Lab lead and former Orangeview Community School teacher lead. And I might also mention Orange County Teacher of the Year semifinalist for 2025. He wears a lot of hats. It's been almost 2 years since our school board made the decision to consolidate Orangeview and Western campuses. Since that time, we've been on quite a wonderful journey. Rooted in research by the Learning Policy Institute, led by Linda Darling Hammond, she believes the key is not overall school size, but rather how schools create strong developmental relationships and leverage a web of relationships to create a caring community. For over 100 years, traditional school systems have had very little change. The current American system was designed to buttress a factory model system. We are lucky that in our district, we have been working on redesigning the student experience in our schools for more than a decade. In the last 2 years, we are so proud that the work that has led up to the opening of our school, we are so proud of the work that will lead up to the opening of our school next month. We started in December 2023 creating a committee to begin to plan how both of our campuses would coexist on the Western campus. During this time, our community began to research other 712 schools, and several subcommittees were created to plan out our consolidation. By spring 2024, it was clear to our community that a simple merger or a coexistence was not enough for our students, our staff, or our community. With the guidance and strategic partnership from Dr. Barnett Berry and David Brazier, both Orangeview and Western began to reimagine what more we could offer our school community to deepen our student learning experience, uplift student voices, and empower our students to be true architects of their futures. We began this redesign process in July 2024.
Hello again, Lorena Moreno, co-principal at Western Orangeview 7 through 12 School. Last August, we created a full redesign committee with representation from staff from each school site. Our goal was to lead our school communities through the redesign planning process. A small group of community visited Hillsdale High School in September of 2024. This group included key educational partners such as Paula Gambina, a representative representing our parents, Amanda Bean, Carlos Hernandez, representing Educational Services, Mr. Ron Hoshi, representing our school board, Jeff Morgenstern, ASTA president, in addition to key staff members from the redesign committee. During our visit, our team identified some practices that we felt were in line with our school redesign and our district's vision. Throughout the school year, both of our campuses engaged in combined professional learning, facilitated student voice circles, engaged in feedback loops with our parents, and made revisions to our redesign plan and process. Next slide. We're grateful to all of our teachers, so many of our current and future parents who engage in meaningful conversations, and all of our students. We're deeply grateful for our educational leaders who have demonstrated strength, grace, and resilience throughout this challenging process. We would like to recognize Jenny Brewer, Wendy Kreiner, Jamila Castro, Karen Clark Yamamoto, Heather Field, Sean Fleshman, Laura Gray, Elvia Gutierrez, Jennifer Hibbs, Brody Hoffman, Dr. Kim Idio, Melinda Moen, Brenna Jimenez, Christy Canelli, Charlene Lang, Robin Manrique, Irlanda Horta, Ann Rice, Ryan Relas, Raquel Solorzano Dueñas, Jeff Watson. It truly does take a village. We also want to extend a thank you for the support of our district leadership, all of our curriculum specialists, Amanda Bean, Diana Fujimoto, Dr. Jaren Freed, and of course, our one and only Mr. Michael Matsuda. Next slide. Our promising practices are guided by the 10 features of our school redesign from the Learning Policy Institute.
So good evening. My name is Jamila Castro, and I'm a Spanish teacher at Western High School, now part of the redesigned Orangeview Western 7 through 12 model. I also serve as a community schools teacher lead. As part of the redesign team, I'm proud to say that the decisions we've made to support our district's vision, core values, and our community schools approach. As Mr. Matsuda reminded us at Leadership Advance, AUHSD is the future of public education. Our redesign reflects that vision, fostering student voice, agency, and real-world skills. As you will see, we have chosen data-proven promising practices that support student growth through stronger relationships, early intervention, and collaborative teaching. Next slide. So here are 4 promising practices. We have the advisory period. Students here meet regularly in small groups with a teacher advisor to build trust, reflect on goals, and develop social emotional skills. It ensures every student is known by name, assets, and needs. Then we have Kid Talk, which is a critical component of our integrated student supports. It ensures that every student's academic, behavioral, and emotional needs are addressed through early and coordinated interventions. Then we have the teaching teams, which are grounded on the belief that strong relationships and a sense of community are essential for student success. Grade level and content teams will work together to align instruction and develop shared strategies for student support. This approach is further enhanced by looping with student cohorts, allowing deeper connections to form over time. Together, this collaborative model fosters stronger relationships and improved learning outcomes. And finally, collaborative planning time. Thanks to our unique block schedule, teachers now have double the collaborative time to plan, reflect, and improve instruction, reinforcing our commitment to equity, quality, and continuous growth. Together, these practices are transforming the student experience and preparing them to thrive in the 21st century workforce as confident, capable, and compassionate leaders.
Hello, Sean Fleshman, Community Schools Learning Lab lead and longtime history teacher at Orangeview and Community Schools teacher lead at Orangeview for the last 3 years. So to help accomplish these promising practices that you saw, we are going to be, that Shamila was talking about, we are putting in place certain structures to accomplish them. We will have an 8-period block schedule. On Mondays, there will be a single block anchor day in which the students will be able to go see all of their 8 classes and check in with all of their teachers. On the other days, they will have a 4-block period on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. There will be 2 late starts a week on Tuesday and Thursday, and this time will be used for Kid Talk and for advisory planning. In addition, students will have an advisory 3 days a week that Shamila had talked about. There are so many benefits for students through our new infrastructure that will allow for deeper learning and cross-curricular collaboration through our teaching teams. Students will have increased opportunities to enroll in advanced classes. For example, fluent Spanish speakers will now have access to Spanish native speaker level 2 and 3 and AP. Students will have access to CTE concentrated classes as early as 8th grade. Additionally, we'll be able to vertically align our pathways. Also, for many students, we will be bringing back our theater program. Our high school will have greater opportunities to enroll in A through G courses compared to traditional high schools. We're working to extend learning beyond the school day through clubs, tutoring, and enrichment opportunities that align with student interests and passions.
Next slide. Oh. So we recognize that safety and security are essential on a campus, a school campus, especially when supporting students at different developmental stages. In response to community feedback, we are taking the following steps: establishing a dedicated junior high restroom for students, enhancing campus safety while continuing to foster strong student connections through capturing kids' heart strategies, and designing a master schedule that includes separate PE periods with structured locker room time.
Thank you for your continued support, your presence, and your encouragement throughout this entire process. We are so excited to open up our doors next month. We're excited about the opportunity that our community will have to be at a redesigned campus. And our redesigned model ensures that education will work for students and not the other way around. We are at the forefront of rethinking what schools should be and can be. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
Dr. Freed, do you have anything more to say on this?
I just want to affirm that the school site team, the community, they really did take a community school approach in working through this redesign, and I'm really proud of the commitment they made. Many long days, sometimes some heated but lovely conversations as they're working through the promising practices, but it just shows the commitment they have to wanting to do right by the student, staff, and the community. So I'm really proud of them, and I know our ed staff will be front and center to support next year in the rollout along the way. So thank you.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions, comments?
Yes,
Mr.
I do.
Rayo?
Can you explain a little more in depth about the Anchor Day Mondays?
So in order for us to make sure that we could continue dual enrollment opportunities and throughout conversation, the team felt very strong that it would be important to start off the week where each teacher saw each of their students at least once. So these are shorter periods, but each student will go through every single one of their periods, including advisory, as a way to kick off the week.
How long will those periods be, approximately?
Approximately 35 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
Can you guys expand a little bit more about what Kid Talk is?
Sure. When you want to do that one? We'll take turns.
So when we visited Hillsdale, one of the practices that we learned at Hillsdale is this opportunity for students, support staff, administrators, counselors to do a preliminary intervention discussion about student needs and strengths. So teachers come together twice a month and discuss students that they have questions about, that they would like to learn more about. Maybe they're having an attendance issue. So this is a discussion with all of the teachers and the support staff before it gets to the next level of intervention, which in our district is called the educational monitoring team. So this way, every teacher has an opportunity to discuss students in a structured way. What we heard from our teachers is like, now we have the time to sit down and discuss instead of trying to have a conversation during passing period about students. It's a dedicated time during our second late start to Kid Talk so that we could support and identify students that are struggling ahead of time.
And then also advisory, how is that going to be used as far as even for some of the things that we have for like, college planning, that's grade level specific? And
This one's up my alley because I'm rooted in a history of counseling. So advisory is rooted through the 3 standard and 3 domains of counseling. There's a pillar that supports academic support. There's a pillar that supports college and career planning, and then a pillar that supports social emotional. So the beautiful thing about this is that teaching teams or teams of teachers are going to be planning advisory lessons that are similar in scope and sequence, but really catered to that specific group of students. So instead of a canned lesson or a canned instruction that goes out to all of 9th grade, a team of maybe 4 or 5 teachers will create something for just the group of students that they have. In this case, would be half of 9th grade. And so depending on what the need is at the time, maybe there's something popping up with some peer bullying or social media posts that are inappropriate, they can quickly react in a way to make sure students know safe policies, safe behaviors, and what resources are available on campus. So it's tier 1 services that are available at any given moment in time, catered to each student and population.
so with double the late starts now, how are you guys going to use that?
We're going to keep taking turns.
So on Tuesdays, it's going to be focused on our promising practices. So we're going to be doing Kid Talk and advisory planning. So just like Bindi said, advisory may look different depending on the teaching team or the grade level. So that will be Tuesdays. On Thursdays, it will be the general late start that all of our schools do. That's where we have our staff meetings, our department meetings, where we have maybe committee meetings. So the added to this is that we have increased time to implement our promising practices and increase time for teachers to collaborate.
That's fantastic.
I'm just so excited because you guys are making history, and I'm looking forward to what is going to happen and the support and the extra opportunities we're going to give our students through this and how we're going to support them mostly.
And for students or anyone out there who are just kind of trying to understand all of this, what would you say would be the benefits, the total benefits of this redesign?
I think it goes back to a little bit of what we talked about earlier in our presentation. Every student will be seen, will be heard, their story known by a specific group of teachers. So instead of a large model, we're taking a comprehensive junior high and high school and really making it a small town and experience, which is intimate, relationship-based, and very memorable for students throughout their 6 years at our school. So I look forward to seeing our first class start and finish at our school and compare that experience to a traditional school system. We expect some very positive outcomes.
I was going to add to that. So without compromising the rigor and the instructional expectations that we as a district would have, which both Orangeview and Western have already done a great job. We've seen their capstones, performance task assessments. That's not being compromised. But I think with the redesign and the promising practices that they've adopted, it really grounds the redesign around relationships. It's a relationship-centered approach. And so as you think about Maslow's, right, they're really going back to capturing the hearts before you then begin to look at the mind. And so I think with that, to Bindy's point, you are going to see students feeling far more connected, far more seen. You're see staff feeling more connected with the time they have to do their work, because the system is, as they mentioned early on, the factory model puts a lot on teachers to do the work, and just given the era that we're in, the demands that the teachers have now versus what they had back in the day are super, right? They're immense, and so now that the teachers are going to be given more time to do their work, we anticipate even better outcomes, not just academically but also socio-emotionally.
I would like to ask you, I understood you to say that you learned this concept of kid talk from Hillsdale?
Yes, so we visited a high school in San Mateo, California, and it's called Hillsdale High School, and they've been doing this type of work for over 20 years. So they invited us to come up to see it in practice. So a group of us, including Mr. Hoshi, parents, teachers, went up and visited and spent 2 days? 3 days visiting classrooms, meeting with students, meeting with teachers, meeting with parents to get an in-depth understanding of their transformation.
What city is that school in?
San Mateo, California, Northern California.
Thank you.
That was recommended by Linda Darling-Hammond. Sorry. Linda Darling-Hammond recommended that school.
This is a gift that you are giving. It's very therapeutic for our people today. They need it, and they deserve it. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, learning about this, sharing it, and implementing it here.
Thank you. Well, we want to thank the entire board for supporting our work and supporting our team, because it takes a village, right, to make this happen. And we're just so thankful that all of you supported us through this process.
Yes, sir. I wanted to echo the comments. Thank you for your presentation and for your work and your staff's work for the past 2 years going through redesign. I know change is hard, right? But we've kept our students in the center of it, and I'm very excited to see the promising practices and the structures that are going to be in place. And I also wanted to highlight, if you could talk a little bit about how you shared some of the changes that are coming to our community. I know you hosted multiple like coffee chats, tours for our parents and community. Can you share a little bit about that?
So our students are our strongest tool for getting communication out. And so we spent a lot of time with the Community Schools Initiative, through community voice circles, RSVP through the leadership of Karen Clark Yamamoto. At Orangeview, we created an RSVP Junior modeling the high school initiative through the leadership of Jeannie Brewer, Brody Hoffman, Ann Rice, Sean Fleshman, and Robin Manrique, where we continued to collect and educate students on what we were creating. And what we found was through that, coupled with social media, coupled with redesigning even our coffee with the principals, hosting town halls throughout the last 2 years with partnerships with you guys. Thank you so much for the partnership in which we had a lot of support. We really got a good idea of what our community wanted, what they were worried about, shifting traditional systems, because even parents are looking at, well, that's not what my experience was. And so really it's educating them on new possibilities for what that 712 experience could be. So really it's a multimodal approach, but our students were our greatest asset, as well as our staff.
Thank you.
Mr. Matsuda?
Yeah, I have a follow-up to that. So what can the district do to continue to support educating and informing the community? Because I think there's still a lot of folks out there who think they have a certain mental model regarding Western and Orangeview. How can we continue to uplift that and change that? And what type of support do you need from the district?
I think most of the work that we did is within our bubble, right? Within our school community, our local community. But what we'd like to do is extend that and maybe support us with creating some videos to be able to extend to other communities, other school districts, right? So that they learn some of the things that we're doing so we could share with them. And other districts, right? Once we implement and we have some outcome data, going and sharing with other districts some of our outcomes and results.
So the other question I have is regarding AI. We saw a tremendous presentation this morning about street data. Do we have teachers, and maybe some of the teachers can respond, who are embracing AI tools to develop performance task assessments and feedback loops that we are capable of doing? Do we have any? I mean, this is maybe you're not ready to answer that yet, but hopefully we can start seeing some AI integration, right, with the teachers using AI tools to respond to the street data, right, as a co-pilot. That's what I think that's the direction the district is going in overall.
Yeah. We've had some preliminary presentations by some of our teacher leaders, specifically our 5Cs coach, right, on the benefits of using AI in the classroom and making sure that students are using it ethically. So this morning we had the presentation about how our district is coming up with some AI guidelines. I think it's always an invitation of how we could upskill ourselves, right, and use it as a thought partner. So I think it's definitely an invitation for our staff to start implementing and using AI to better support our educators.
So I think the final question that I have, and it's, again, you're kind of in the middle of building the airplane, right, while flying it. Make sure that, you know, our district people are working with you on professional development needs because you're talking about a whole new redesign. And people need support on block scheduling, on Kid Talk, all that stuff. And because we're going to likely be doing this with other schools as we move forward, right? We learn together. So let us continue to support you and work with you. Are there specific PD needs now that you see before school starts?
So I think we are planned out for the opening of our campus, but I think something to remember is that we have done all this work to get to opening our doors, and this is just year one. And what we've told our community is that year one should not look like year two. This is a cycle of continuous progress and improvement. And so the things that you're talking about are things that we plan to integrate, and this is just a launch point for us with our excitement. But as we get into looking at education differently, we plan to also continue to augment it to fit today's students' needs. And so we've told our staff during our PDs that year one will not look like year three, and year three will not look like year six, because we need to continue to improve and take the momentum that we've begun in these first 2 years and continue that momentum and not take our foot off the pedal.
That's great.
I have a few responses to your questions because I know the answers. So a couple things. I want to first highlight the question you asked about what we can do to change mental models from the Western Orangeview community. And I know I'm going to point out Ron Flores is in the back wearing his Letterman jacket from class of '66. I think I see. Unless that was your football number. Oh, 65. All right. One of the things that he has been advocating for, that both Superintendent Matsuda and I have agreed to, is bringing the district to the community. So we've also committed to going out with Ron to visit various homes and bringing people in the community who often maybe struggle to get to the campus and have their own perspectives of what the school may or may not be doing. And so we've committed to a number of dates, I think in August and September, to go out and break bread with families, but also engage in the work that we're doing. So I think that's one way to be chipping away at the mental models that maybe people perhaps have had about the school, when we know they're doing great work. The second thing you talked about was AI. So this year, part of the Orange County Grand Jury is expecting school districts across the county to begin doing a lot of professional learning around artificial intelligence. Now, although we're out in front with AI, I think we can agree that systemically we still have gaps, right? It hasn't been systemic as of yet. And I think the process we're about to go through with the professional learning with our staff will then equip and empower our staff where they have the skill sets to begin doing this work. So I think it's going to be coming. We're going to see more of that AI integration in supporting performance task assessments and just the quality of instruction and being able to take feedback, the street data, and make sense of it. So I think that's coming. And the third thing that you had mentioned was the way the district staff can continue to support. Our curriculum specialist, our SF team, has been at the hip with both Western Orange through this process, and we've made a commitment to continue being visible on that campus and working with them and helping to co-design some of the late start activities as they identify what those needs may be. Because with the teacher time, they're going to have a lot of time to assess kind of where they feel like they're comfortable and where they feel like they need more support. And as they give us the feedback, then our curriculum specialists are armed and ready to co-design and go out and support with them. So I'm really excited about the work ahead.
I want to thank the redesign team for all that you've done for the community, for the kids, and I think it's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens when the school opens, and then how it is at the end of the first year, because it's going to change, it's going to evolve during the year. So kudos to you. Thank you so much for all that you've done, and look forward to day one. Thank you.
Bravo.
Next, we have public comments, open session items. First speaker is Laura Vasquez.
Good evening, honorable members of the Anaheim Union School District Board. Thank you for your time today. I'm here to speak from the heart of our beloved and invaluable community member, Mr. Schroeder, former Loera High School band director, who has devoted over 30 years of service to our students and our school's musical legacy. Despite past allegations connected incorrectly to the Steve Graves case, Mr. Schroeder has been fully cleared. Every investigation found no wrongdoing, no evidence, and no cause even remotely supporting the accusations against him. Yet he remains barred from volunteering with the Loera Band program that brings us here today. Why should we permit Mr. Schroeder to volunteer matters profoundly. He brings a lifetime of experience and musical excellence. For 3 decades, Mr. Schroeder led the Loera Band to local, regional, and state recognition. He knows our students' strengths and challenges personally. His continued presence ensures the consistency and high school level of instruction for our students that deserve during marching season. He is a trusted mentor who connects. Beyond conducting, he sits down with the students struggling to master a tricky passage of uniqueness. He listens, he adapts, he encourages, he makes musical ambition feel attainable. These aren't teachable qualities. They're rooted in decades of experience and authentic concern for youth. He is a resource for our staff and booster parents. Mr. Schroeder isn't just an instructor, he's a guide. For Mr. Magoza, our current director, he's a confidant and a coaching partner. For booster parents, especially new members, he's a point of orientation into the world of marching band, schedules, uniform care, fundraising, late-night logistics. His steady presence empowers families to support their students effectively. He is a symbol of integrity and trust. The district core mission is to empower students with knowledge, mentorship, and community. Mr. Schroeder embodies that mission. He's never held a paid position during these volunteer hours. He simply gives because he cares. Maintaining a band risks sending a message that unsubstantiated concerns can indefinitely overshadow proven character and contributions. In closing, Mr. Schroeder's journey with Loera Band may have entered a somber chapter, but it's not the whole story. His decades of dedication and clear record demand fairness. Our students need his teaching. Our families count on his guidance. Our district has the chance to demonstrate what restorative trust truly looks like. Thank you for taking the time and listening, and thank you for allowing us the opportunity to reinstate Mr. Schroeder's gift to our students in a way that supports them. Thank you.
I didn't mention in the very beginning that board members, during the public comments, board members cannot immediately respond to any public comments here. So the next speaker is Dulce Sotelo.
Good evening, Mr. Matsuda and board members. My name is Dulce Sotelo. I am a parent and a concerned community member. I'm here to speak for those members of my community who are fearful and feel they can't come and speak. We want to thank you for the Know Your Rights Forum, but with the beginning of the new school year approaching, we need action, we need a plan. We ask for increased surveillance before and after school at dismissal time. We would also like to know if schools will go on lockdown if immigration activity is confirmed around our schools. We know this summer there's been a lot of activity across Berkers Junior High because of the Home Depot, and we want our kids in school. I know there's been a lot of talk about maybe sending them, for the kids who are fearful to go to online school, do Cambridge Academy, but we want our kids in our schools. But we also want them to feel safe. We want to feel safe when we're dropping off our kids. We want to make sure, that there isn't any incidents after school. A lot of our kids walk home. So that is a big concern for our community, and I ask you to please take that into consideration. Thank you.
Okay. Next up. Speaker, Art Castillo.
Good evening, everybody. So many subjects here, but this one just came out, is my concern also. I like the SORs when they came, but I didn't really see how they came in without, I was surprised about it. And I raised up 6 young ladies that graduated from Anaheim High School, and I made sure that they learned and they got to school and gave them what they needed, and they did great. So they all graduated, good jobs, but I was also a student, growing up here too, but I went into the streets at a young age because I worked at the city at 13 years old. I was at Ponderosa Park. So I saw the demographics of immigrants coming. The Vietnamese were there and the Mexicans came. They all stuck together. They were all separated. Eventually we started to blend in as we were growing up, but they didn't speak English when they came in. And my year in my school, junior high, they took out Spanish. And then even my elementary, they took out the telecast of Spanish. So it was something that I'm Mexican, but I don't speak it and I don't understand it. So I was, and other, things that happen when people come up and say, don't speak it and call your names and everything. So I related that to the people that were from Mexico or from other countries, other Latin countries. But the point was, to me, was the way that people looked at us and the bad words that came out of people that I respected and got saddened about the way they spoke about how they discriminated them with names, and the people didn't even know that they were being called those names. But as I got as an advocate, as a young man, I was trying to get them to assimilate. So I used to go to neighborhoods and try to assimilate families. But our city and our police, now the SORs are different. I kept on coming here and city council and the police review board. SORs are doing great, but when they go to the neighborhood officers, we got videos and everything, and you guys got to know what's been going on. We had mothers that lost their kids, and they never got any, got no information. They're not being dealt with. So a lot of us were victims of things. Some of them I feel bad for, and some of them passed away. These mothers with no, nothing for their kids that they were done. But the main concern for me was, we need to teach, and I'm saying it again, we need to teach the officers in the school, just like the SORs at home, the officers at home. These kids walk home and they go to their neighborhoods, and it's really saddening how they treat them different than the SORs. And my children, I call them, they said, we get scared of uniforms. So maybe there's a thing that your school can get into to try to evaluate, like you guys were just talking about. That was in my head. How can you evaluate but I want to say this, kids don't trust teachers, police officers, and parents. They won't tell. They'll tell somebody that on the street. They'll tell them what's really going on. You don't really get to hear it until you can get their trust. So we got to build the trust, and I just wanted to give that out a little bit. There's so much in my mind today, but thank you very much for your time.
Next speaker is Masato.
Quality Taki, good afternoon in the Nahuatl Mexica Aztec language. We haven't been here a couple months. A lot of things going on right now with the ICE raids. It's sad. I want to echo what the young female said. It reminded me when I was here when I was 13 years old, and I was speaking about having Chicano history, Chicano studies, and we did it after we transferred from leading the Chicano walkouts at Cattell, and then they transferred me to Anaheim High School. And so I want to connect that with what's going on right now in history. And also a comment that the city councilman Carlos Leon made at the city council of Anaheim. He mentioned how he's friends with the female of the daughter of the relative that got beat up by these ICE agents in Santa Ana, and has 3 sons or 3 kids that are military. That's fighting, defending our country, this country. O'Neill, salute you, mucho respeto, and also Native American code talkers. And so, it's important that, I know we have 1 semester of ethnic studies, I heard. That's beautiful. We're part of that. But I feel when we passed Chicano history, Chicano studies, it really helped me. It really did, of me wanting to go to school and learn more about my identity and culture. So hopefully we can expand this maybe for another semester, be 2 semesters. So be Seshiwit, which means 1 year, un año in Nahuatl. And the last thing is, Carlos de Leon for the city council actually talked about how one of the daughters had a vision that the police, the ICE agents were going to come and deport him. And that vision, that dream that she had actually occurred. And that, I want to end with our respect, Captain Smith and O'Neill and everybody here. We participate in sun dances. We have visions in our sweat lodge. We don't eat food or water, on the Indian reservations. And it's a spiritual thing. All colors are welcome. It doesn't matter what religion, what color, what tribe. And this is a human race thing. And so this vision that we had in the sweat lodge, I saw the name of the home of the colonists not there no more. And I know it's going to happen, like ethnic studies, having that. Please expand it. I want to say a little prayer. I have 1 minute left, right? This is a bear song. This is a California bear song. When I was in Mexico about a year ago, they're actually singing this bear song, the Ochichayo. It's part of the Nahuatl language, and it goes like this. Hennaneya, hennaneya, hennane chichayo. Hennaneya, hennaneya, hennane chichayo. Hennane chichayo, hennane chichayo, hennane chichayo, hennane chichayo, hennaneya, hennaneya. It goes longer, but thank you so much. With all respect, I know it will come down. Thank you.
Next speaker, Ron Flores.
It's great to have all these Western people here. They're beautiful, they're gorgeous, and they're intelligent. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Matsuda. I've known you a long time. You take a lot of hits. You don't get enough thank yous. Thank you. Second of all, when we were looking for a vice president for the Alumni Association, we needed someone that could talk. We needed someone that was popular. So I called up a coach from 20, 30 years ago. I said, who's that guy? And he gave me the name, and I remembered him because I was coaching at Western when he was there. I wanted to introduce our alumni president, Tom Barraza. Stand up, Tom. Every girl on campus wanted him. So he's a great guy. I want to give you an update what's going on. I want to give you an update what's going on at the best high school in the district, Western. By the way, 65. See it? I do. Not 56. Come on, I'm not that old. Anyway, our program that Jared and Mike have committed to help us, we've already started. We've already had some meetings. Just yesterday, I locked up a deal with the Orange County District Attorney. We are going to have a law program at Western High School. Attorneys, judges, police officers, whatever is in the DA's office has made a commitment. If the principals allow us to come to the campus, we're going to mentor anybody that wants to learn about law, being an attorney, whatever. So we've done that. On August 5th, you've all been invited, 1, 2, 3 to 4 of you. We're going to buy lunch for the teachers. And I just heard today the count went up. Right? It's now 170 people? Wow, we're going to need to raise some more money. So, by the way, the mayor of Stanton, one of my friends that I know for a long time, was a major person in giving us money to pay for this. We're going to have alumni there. And the very next day, on August 6th, the first day of school, we're going to have alumni out there greeting the students and the parents. So we're doing a lot of stuff to get that going. But here's the bad news. I had a meeting with the principal and the AD, Ms. Quintana, who's been there, I think, 200 years. And they were frustrated, so I'm going to talk to Robert over there. He owes me a meeting with the principal from Anaheim for the Bell game. So they don't want to play us anymore. They don't even want to talk to us on the phone. So you guys have to follow through. Come on. I even told them we'll put our girl flag football team against them. They won't even call us on that. So I want to thank you all for giving me this time. It's a lot of fun to come here and make you laugh. But in all seriousness, remember your goal. Your goal is the children. And right now, we got a problem. And you know we have a problem. We can't run from it. We need to do something about it. Minus 256 points below the standard for all the high schools in Orange County. 97.7 at Western High School. 116 minus at Anaheim. That can't continue. It can't. We need to do something. Thank you very much.
The last speaker, Thomas Barrazas. Mr. President.
Thank you for letting me be here. So I want to make this quick. I want to make it thorough, though. For those of you at home and maybe haven't been at any of these meetings for 2 years now, almost 2 years, there has been a lot of thought, a lot of input, but the most important part is there's been a lot of love and care. There's been a lot of listening, continual listening, right? Process and process and process and process. Now, my expectation is that it will continue. It'll continue the processing, the adjusting, the growing. But I want to also make sure that we're staying up with the times. AI is always on topic here. We've had through our district, great opportunities to learn about it. We have a new situation on our doorstep, busting through our doors now with immigration situation, with transforming jobs. So I know that everyone in this room, and there's hundreds of people out there online that are listening that will participate. And so I ask, the only ask I've ever asked, is bring somebody here. Bring somebody with you. Bring your neighbor, bring a friend. They don't have to have a kid in school. Bring somebody. They brought me today. They brought me hundreds of times now, right? But I also want to thank the board, all of the superintendents, assistant superintendents, all of the staff through the district office, everyone at Orangeview, because you can't have love without OV. All of my PIOs, all of the people we've had through this has been really important. There are parents that are represented here through me right now that spoke, argued, advocated for their kids, advocated for their neighbors. And so please bring more people. Bring more. That's all we're ever going to need is more people. And other than that, I want to tell everyone that it's been a wild, in the most positive way, experience. And knowing that this group of people, me and the parents and the students and all of the administration and teachers, took the best out of the 187 schools in the state of California who are already 7 through 12. We took the best practices available, fit them into our community the best we could, and now we're going to roll it out. And then we're going to continue molding this, because as said already, this is year one's not going to look like year 3. And we don't expect it to. So continue voicing your concerns, continue voicing your praise, and continue supporting what will be the best school in our district, in our county, in Southern California, and we're thriving to make it the best school in the state. All right, thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Matsuda. I know you got a lot still left to do, so we'll see you soon.
Next agenda item is number 9, Superintendent and Staff Report. Mr. Matsuda? Oh, Dr. Freed.
Yes, I have a couple of things. First of all, I want to acknowledge Haley Sotelo and Mom, Mrs. Sotelo. Thank you so much for bringing those concerns forward. We couldn't agree with you more. I'm going to explain first on the immigration side, and then I'll talk about ethnic studies. So for immigration, just so you know, today was the first day our staff, not teachers, but our staff returned. As you heard, we had leadership advance today. And so during the summer, while most were on vacation, we actually brought a number of our ed staff folks on back to campus while even they were on vacation. I see Carlos there, Robert, Amanda Bean was at that meeting. We had Jose Lara, there he is, and then we had Jenny Lee from CVA. We have a number of folks come together to really look at the immigration issues that are before us, and we've begun to build a really comprehensive plan. So we actually have a plan in place. Just so you know, that plan that we built was a draft. We then met with the entire ed division. We also met with, I think, 9 parents were with us. We also had some Gear Up partners who were with us. So a number of thought partners who looked at our draft and then critiqued it. And then we took that input and made adjustments. So now we have a plan that's in place. Today and tomorrow is our leadership advance, where we're doing our instructional drivers and the things that we're doing to move the district forward in closing gaps and also accelerating strengths. On Monday, we're going to be meeting with our site administrators and their teams to reveal the plan. So that way when they begin registration, they have the talking points and the information to support our students and families. So we have been working on a comprehensive plan. Just know the plan is broken into 3 different parts. The first has to do with ICE protocols. Assuming they follow law, we have board policy that already governs what we do. And that was already, we've gone through that multiple times in the spring. But we also added additional layers. What if they don't? Right, what if they just come on? What if they go to the field without stopping by the office? So we put in a number of policies. I worked closely with both, not just the Anaheim PD, but also our other law enforcement. And we built in protocols around the lockdown, around what we do, who we call. So all of those things are in place to protect our students. We're looking to increase supervision, as mentioned, I think is one of your suggestions. So we have all those things also happening. We're also requesting, of course, local law enforcement to be more visible before and after school. So all those things are in place. The second layer is resources and supports. So we have identified through, I know Dr. Cruz, also met with her, and she had a lot of input in this process as well with our mental health leads and our district faces. So we can kind of centralize the supports that are happening at our site. So going back to one of our core values, systems not silos, we want to be able to kind of track what's happening across our sites. So as a food pantry at one school may be getting lighter because we've delivered groceries to families who don't feel like they can go to the grocery store, we then can work with our partners to replenish that pantry. So that's why that centralization aspect is also really important. So those supports are happening both at the community level, but also at the academic or social emotional level. So depending on what we've identified as the needs, we can be able to triage and provide those supports. The other thing is too, we want to be mindful that we do recognize we may have some families, some students who just don't feel safe. Even though we're going to do everything we can to make the campus safe, there's a reality that we will have some families, some students who want to stay home. And so we've also developed some options for those students if they really don't want to come to campus so they can still get their education. So we're going to unveil that tomorrow with our sites and walk through. I'm not going to lay out the specifics here, but we have a plan to support our students who would like to stay home because of the fear. So rest assured, we have a pretty detailed plan. And when we were up at GEARP going through this process, we were talking with other districts. They're not where we are. They don't have their plans laid out. So I'm really proud of the proactive work that we've done given what's going on, despite the fact that it was summer. So when we start school on, I think it's August 6th, we will be ready. So I'm excited to share that. And I again, thank you for bringing that up. It's important for you to share that, but just know it's been on our minds as well, and we've been proactive in building that. So that was the first update. Mike, did you have something too?
I want to jump in too. Thank you, Dr. Freed, for that, and thanks to your team for coming up with the protocols. But we are very concerned about the behavior of ICE in Orange County and Southern California. They do seem to be intimidating and without identifying themselves, without a warrant. So if they do come onto one of our campuses without a warrant, without identifying themselves, they are trespassing. And at that point, that will trigger a lockdown. But it's going to be tough knowing that, and it's going to be a tough year, right? We need to educate our parents and our community about our protocols, right? And we're very thankful at this point, this critical juncture, that we have such a strong community school presence with 250 organizations, churches, nonprofit organizations that are hopefully helping to develop a shield, right? A community shield. So we're going to need your help, parents' help, students' help, our community school partners' help, and ensuring the safety of all students and all families.
Thank you, Mike. One thing I've failed to mention too is as a part of our protocol with our site leaders is a communications campaign. So it's how our superintendent will communicate to the staff and to the community more generically, but then the sites will communicate more specifically what's happening given their campus. Not just with parents and community members, but also how they message to students, right? Hey, we notice there's activity happening on the corner over here. If you're walking home, and we'd encourage you to go this way, like making sure that we're actively and proactively communicating with our students, and then also just building capacity, right? As you remember in March, it was safe for a student to go out and do a walkout, right? Protest. I wouldn't know that it's safe for a student to do that. So we want to be able to keep students on campus, but how do we activate our civic engagement work through our performance task assessments, where we can still amplify student voice, but in a way that's safe and doesn't put them in a position where they're now vulnerable without our protection, because we can't lock down on the street, right? We can only secure our campus. So those are things that we're going to be working on with our sites to proactively campaign and message to our students and to our families so we can be in this together to keep our community safe. Okay, so that was the first update. Second update that I have is regarding ethnic studies, and again, we couldn't agree more. Just so you know, the change that we're making in the graduation policy to graduation is not about reducing ethnic studies from 1 year long to a semester. As the board knows, we were actually doing ethnic studies prior to it being a graduation requirement for the state. It's something that we believe in passionately. So we're actually keeping our courses the same. The difference is, right now, if a student, we had a task force, and I know Carlos is here. He was part of the work that led or co-led the Ethnic Studies Task Force. And one of the things that came out loud and clear from our constituents, which were parents, students, and staff across the district, is the idea that we wanted to integrate ethnic studies into our classrooms. As you know, and I know Haley probably knows this, the UC and Cal State requirements are a lot. And so one of the things that we were concerned about was adding more to a student, although we know this isn't important more, but adding more to a student given all that they already have to do to meet these requirements. So the idea was to integrate so a student could take freshman English with ethnic studies integrated, or an art class integrated in. And so as doing that work, it's been super helpful, and we've had teachers that have really stepped up to develop these courses. So now we have a plethora of courses that students can access to be able to meet this requirement. But the challenge is, if we have a student that struggles and fails that class, because it's a requirement, they now have to make up the credit both in English and ethics studies, which means you're now double jeopardizing a student. You have to make up both classes instead of the one, because we don't have credit recovery for ethics ELA, right? So one of the things that we're doing is we're building this out, because remember, we're still 4 years ahead of the state requirement. That kicks in 2030. So what we're doing is we're changing the law for right now, or graduation right now, where they must enroll in a semester of ethnic studies, but they are going to be enrolled in a year-long course, because it is a year-long course. It's not semesters. It's a year-long. But in 2030, if we decide as a board, if you decide as a board to keep it as is, but maybe enroll and pass a semester, now it gives the students two options. If they, let's say, don't do well first semester, but they pass second semester, they still meet the requirement. So, but we are intending to keep it the year-long course. But we're trying to be thoughtful about the way that we support our students and the way we position to be, graduate ready.
I'd like to add, that deserves a round of applause. So a lot of work in there. But I'd like to add another thing, too, for the students and parents, community members. As you probably are aware, the governor and the state legislator did not fund ethnic studies, okay? And that is not deterring us as a district to support ethnic studies. Other districts in Orange County, they have made that an excuse not to go forward. And I would, encourage you to, ask other parents or your relatives, who are in other districts to support ethnic studies, because that is so vital to the future, not just to ethnic students, but to all students, right? And I'm really proud of this district and our board for making the commitment to go forward with ethnic studies, even though it is not funded. So that deserves a round of applause too, I think.
And then the last report is just thanking the board for your attendance and participation in Leadership Advance. Our staff really appreciates both the admin, the teachers, the counselors, all the participants when you come to be a part of the work with them. So just thank you for being there. And again, if you're up for it, we're there early tomorrow for day 2.
Thank you. Staff, any more? You're real good. Okay.
I just want to take this time to thank all the site staff. I know they're getting ready. We were at Kennedy this morning. They're getting ready for the schools. A lot of the custodial staff, especially the main staff as well, they're working really, really hard to get the school ready. And so I just want to take this time to acknowledge them for that work. So thank you.
Okay. Salvador? Okay, none? Thank you. Okay, moving on to item 10.1, resolutions. Resolution number 2025/26-B-01, signature authorization.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Any discussion? Seeing none. Mrs. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Oshie?
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo?
Aye.
Ms. Guerrero?
Aye.
And I vote aye. That's 5-0. 10.2, resolution number 2025/B/26-E-01, annual certification of course-based independent study for 2025-26.
So moved.
Second.
This is a roll call vote. Any discussion? Seeing none. Mrs. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Hoshi?
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo?
Aye.
Ms. Guerrero?
Aye.
And I vote aye. That's 5-0. 10.3, resolution number 2025/26-BOT-01, compensation for board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
This is roll call vote. Any discussion? Seeing none. Mrs. Smith?
Abstain.
Mr. Hoshi?
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo?
Aye.
Ms. Guerrero?
Aye.
And I vote aye. That's 4-0. 1.
Yeah.
Thank you.
10.4, school-connected organizations.
So moved.
Second.
So we're taking all of these, 10.41 through 10.423. Okay, any discussion?
Yes. Did
Go
you want
ahead.
to go?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to know if people wanted to start a new booster club organization, are they gonna, and all these people have gone through the training. Is that correct?
Correct, yes, and we're going to ask our controller, Joe Kimuna, to speak on some of these. So we already had 2 training back in the spring. One was virtual and one was in person. And some very, very ecstatic parents and volunteers attended both as well. So we had hundreds of people already attended. This is just kind of like some of the first batch that are coming through as well. And so we are looking at having a second and a third training in probably September or so to kind of get the next batch going.
So no organizations will come on the agenda
Unless they've been trained.
unless they've finished all the requirements.
Correct. And then Joe's going to speak a little bit more
Okay,
about that as
okay.
well.
Joe?
Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe.
Good evening. So as Dr. Nian mentioned, we held 2 trainings in the fall. Each training actually had over 100 attendees.
Good.
Some were doubled up, right? They really wanted to get the learning. Those trainings were promoted through district-wide communications that went to all of our staff, parents, and community members, right? So they were made aware of the change in board policy, bringing this forward, and then the dates for those trainings. An additional message was sent so folks could RSVP to the training, so that way I had a way to communicate with them. We sent reminders to them a week ahead of the trainings to make sure, hey, looking forward to seeing you. We'll see you in a week. Additionally, I worked with the department chairs for our visual and performing arts. We have a number of boosters that support those programs, so they could inform their teachers and parents who are connected to boosters. I went to the athletic director meeting to connect with all of them so they could communicate with their coaches, the activities directors, and the assistant principals who oversee athletics and activities. So really, right, relying on also their relationships at the school sites to connect with those folks and make sure that they participated in the training and completed the applications. So additionally, besides those 2 trainings, I actually facilitated 2 additional trainings myself with folks who were unable to attend those dates, right? So they had signed up, they RSVP'd, I see that they didn't attend it, I reached out to them, and I met with them separately so they could receive the training and get their applications submitted. So currently, we have the list in front of you. These folks have completed all of the requirements, attended the trainings, provided all of their paperwork. Pretty much they're ready to go moving into the school year. I have about an additional 10 organizations who I'm in communication with. They're not quite there. They're working on getting their 501c3 status resolved. Maybe they didn't have it, or it became delinquent, so they're trying to rectify that. And so that, that was really our intention, right, in bringing this policy forward, is to ensure that these organizations had everything in place that not only allowed them to operate properly, but protected the parents who are donating their time and effort, as well as the staff and students connected to these groups. So we have about 10 more that are somewhere along in the process, so I anticipate we'll likely get the bulk of them on the August agenda. There might be a few more in September. The September training is really meant for group folks who they're thinking about it, right? There may be, they want to, or there's a new coach or a new director associated with the program, so they kind of want to get the ball rolling. And for any board members who, we had the new board members submitted with their applications, but this is a volunteer opportunity for our folks. So maybe someone had to step in, and so it'll be an additional opportunity for them to get brought up to speed. And then the cycle will start over in the spring, right? And the spring trainings are really intended, you're preparing now for the following year. So that's where we are right now. I've spoken to a lot of folks through email and on the phone, just kind of guiding them through and helping move in the process. I spoke to a few staff at Leadership Advance today. Hey, I haven't heard from this particular group. Where are they at? I know they're out there, right? Let's make sure we bring them along. And so I anticipate, like I said, I'm working currently with about 10 more groups that they'll be hopefully ready to go by the August. Our August meeting is a little early, so maybe even they'll make it to the September meeting if they don't quite make it in that time frame.
Thank you. Any more
Thank you,
questions?
Mr. Carmona, because I know that coaches are always changing. Even some of our, like, like our parents who volunteer, they change positions. So thank you for keeping everybody updated on that and us like safe.
Protected.
Yeah, protected.
They only need to send one person from their booster club to come for the training. So it's not like every single member of the board has to be trained, just one person. So the requirement is not really to bar anyone from forming the group. I mean, they're already existing. It's really to make sure that they serve the best interest for the district, and they're also legal with the state as well. So we want to make sure that they are also protected as well.
Okay.
So it's and we like Joe said, he has worked with many of them to try to get them to this point already.
Good. Any more questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's 5-0. 10.5, revised board policy 5405, parentheses, 5030, student wellness, second reading.
So
Aye.
moved.
We have a motion and a second there.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion, questions? Yeah, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.6, award of bid, food services.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.7, piggyback bid, dairy products.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.8, agreement, EMS Lino LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.9, ratification leaseback agreement, AP Construction Group, Inc., DBA Air Plus, District Office Freezers Replacement Project, RFP number 2023-08.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Questions? Seeing none, all in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.10, adoption, local control and accountability plan, LCAP, Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA, federal addendum.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's 5-0. 10.11, revised board policy 71105, in parentheses, 6146.1, high school graduation requirements, first reading, information only.
Just thank you for clarifying the questions. Appreciated that.
10.12, AUHSD, artificial intelligence framework.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions?
Mr. O'Neill, if I may?
Sure.
I just want to take a moment. This is a model for the country. And I don't know if folks recognize, because AI is a newer technology, I mean, that we're seeing emerge in schools, and we're out in front. Although we still have work to do, we're out in front. And I want to just take a moment to thank Dr. Sadhu, Paulo Rosenberg, and Jacinta Vera for their work in leading our AI initiative. So this is actually pretty transformational in terms of what we're doing compared to what you might see in other places.
I'd like to double down on that. We're the first district to show compliance with the Orange County Grand Jury. And then we're also, as Dr. Freed said, a national leader in that we are in compliance with the federal requirements and expectations regarding artificial intelligence in K-12 schools, namely that we are in competition worldwide with other countries, China being one of them. And I'm really proud that our district is taking a very proactive stance in integrating AI with ethical guardrails. So Dr. Sidhu, you and your team deserve a lot of accolades for that, but also too, creating a student-facing framework as well. So the students are taking ownership of this very exciting opportunity.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 5-0. Moving on to 12.13, agreement with Thriving University.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on it? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.14, Agreement, Orange County Department of Education, Relationships at the Heart of Social Emotional Learning, SEL.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.15, Agreement, Orange County Department of Education, Fostering Belonging and Social Emotional Learning, SEL.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.16, Agreement, Orange County Department of Education, Designing Nurturing Learning Spaces, Trauma-Informed Practices.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.17, Agreement, Orange County Department of Education, Social Emotional Learning, SEL, Coaching Sessions.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.18, Agreement, Orange County Department of Education, Relationships at the Heart of Social Emotional Learning, SEL.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.19, Agreement, Orange County Department of Education, SEL Training in Social Emotional Learning.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.20, Agreement, Orange County Department of Education, Fostering Belonging and Social Emotional Learning.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.21, Agreement, Orange County Department of Education, Supporting School-Based Teams in Developing a Foundation for Social Emotional Learning, SEL.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.22, Community Service Agreement, Central City Community Health Center, Inc.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion?
Yes, I was wondering, how is this service going to be publicized in our schools, and what schools are going to be involved in? Is there going to be like a schedule that's going to be out?
I'm going to bring up Mr. Hernandez, who's going to speak more intelligently about this item.
You are. Oh, you want to hang out?
And Lauren Klatzker.
We know, and Lauren, part of her work, she supports as well. Our faces are going to be promoting and building awareness. Every school can benefit from these services. Families Together is one partner and provider, but the amount of needs, we need another provider. So this is our second provider that can bring in those services. So now we can expand and we can create a schedule, and the faces will be promoting.
So I can talk more specifically about how Families Together is being promoted. So we do social media blasts in coordination with Mr. Bautista, plus our faces work specifically in advertising when the mobile health clinic will be available at the sites to encourage families to come on those specific days and times. And then, just our health offices are working really hard to reach out to families too. And I can't stress how hard our health techs and our LVNs and our RNs work on reaching out to families, helping them get vaccines, which in some cases are keeping kids from being able to come to school. And that's where Families Together provides a really important service very frequently for our kids by coming with their mobile clinic and providing the vaccine so kids can come to school.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure this is a fantastic opportunity for our families, but I wanted to make sure we're doing something more than just passing out a flyer or a QR code, but we're being very intentional about it because I think we need this.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.23, Agreement, National Center for Civic Innovation.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.24, Agreement Elizabeth Barnett, MSW, PhD, Motivational Interviewing Network of Trainers, MINT.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
And this training's for our wellness coaches and counselors?
Yes. Dr. Cruz, correct? Yes. Yep.
And it's a required training?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Nope. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. 10.25, excuse me, Agreement, the Center for Safe and Resilient Schools and Workplaces.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.26, Agreement, Scott Bakovich Communications.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.27, Agreement, the Goodhart Wilcox Company, Inc., DBA Goodhart Wilcox Publisher, Comprehensive Health Textbooks.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 5-0. Agreement, Edutech Solutions LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes. Is this a new textbook, like a thing to track them than our current system right now? And do we have to like barcode all the textbooks? Do we know?
Dr. Sidhu?
Hello. So this is going to replace book tracks, which we currently use. And then in terms of re-barcoding, we will have to upload these into the new system. But we have a team that is dedicated to do that. And if that takes us going to every single school site and doing that, we will do that. We are rolling that out this fall. One thing I wanted to say was we took feedback though from the schools in terms of, the benefits, the cost of book tracks, and did a cost benefit analysis compared to Edutech Solutions. So, and then with the features, we also met with Eric Greenwood, our Chief Technology Officer, and his team to assess and evaluate Edutech in 1-to-1 plus.
So who at the school site is in charge of textbooks?
So we have an AP over textbooks at each site.
Okay. And then what about the recovery of like the costs of textbooks, that when people damage them or they don't return them, do we have a policy on that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We do, but as you may recall, because we are now 1-to-1, most of the materials we're able to use online. So and we also, I think, just shifted this year where we're doing class sets, whereas before we weren't doing the class sets. So we should have less students bringing their books back and forth. So we should have less of that occurring. So as the board knows, we could spend a lot of money over each year replacing books, but now we're hoping we're replacing fewer because they're not having to cart their books back and forth, and they have books in the classroom as well.
And do we have a lot of digital textbooks that we're using right now too as well?
Yeah, so each textbook basically, say English, for example, comes with the software online. So we have both.
That way the student does not have to carry it home. They have it online at home. They can.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then we will always make sure that we have a overage, right, included. So if the parent or student wants the book, they want to have one at school, take one at home, they can absolutely do so. So we have plenty. We actually have more, right? We have an excess. And so we want to make sure that we're supporting all students in whatever they need, including the family, and that's totally their choice, as well as the teachers too.
Well, like Dr. Fried had said, there's a classroom set. Mm-hmm. So kids typically leave their one book that's checked out to them at home, and then they use the classroom set.
Correct.
So Dr. Sidhu, what you said was that, and that's for all subjects.
Well, we are covering our main core subjects, so the English, math, social science, science. And then in addition, we do apply that to our elective courses, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's important to just call out as well, this is a big shout out to our teachers, because one of the things that we talk about from the Ed Division with our staff is that the textbook is not the curriculum. The textbook is a tool, right? And teachers often develop a lot of the work that they do with their students. They use open resources, they bring articles and a lot of different things that they can do to educate and work with our students. So although we have the textbooks, we have seen more and more teachers bring in other kinds of materials to support learning. Still the textbook's used, but again, back in the day when I was educated, the textbook seemed like it was a curriculum, whereas now it's really more of a tool to assist the teacher with teaching the standards, and for us, our other drivers.
Yeah, we always ensure, right, with Williams compliancy and everything like that, Williams settlement, we definitely ensure that we have instructional materials for each and every student.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 10.29, agreement, Michael Follen Enterprises.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion?
Dr. Freed, I was wondering, or Mr. Matsuda, the services or training that are going to be delivered.
So first and foremost, there's a number of things that I think that's going to come out of this relationship. So I think the first thing is, with the anticipation that in a few years, we're actually going to see, despite the decline in enrollment, a massive need to hire folks, because a lot of teachers, if we're talking teachers specifically, are at the age, and it's not just in Anaheim Union, but across really the state, at that retirement age. So there's actually quite a need to hire more folks. So we're working with Michael Flynn and his team on the work that Brad and his team are doing around hiring practices, interview questions and whatnot. But one of the things that we're going to need to, I think, really beef up, that we've been intentional as a district, I think Michael Flynn and his partner Lyle Kurtman are going to help with, is the training around the onboarding, right? What that looks like when you hire a new teacher, how you begin to train and build capacity in that person to understand kind of our drivers and the way that we do things, which is not always typical of other districts. It's also going to be looking at the materials and things that HR uses, and the way that they onboard, the way that sites may be onboard. So there's a lot of training that will come out of it. That's one of the things that Michael Fullen is, for those who don't know, he is an educational research guru, but his partner Lyle Kurtman, who's working with, is also very gifted in organizational leadership and management, which is where this is really geared towards. That's why they're working closely with not just Brad Jackson, but also with his team, both Celeste Kruger and Amy Maya. But I think what's unique about this partnership is the Ed Division is also working there as well, because as you heard today, Leadership Advance, it's about coherence and action. It's bringing the two together, so we're not working in silos.
I want to add to that too. This is really going to help us define the qualities of a teacher and administrator in the 21st century. Teachers that are embracing of community schools, teachers and administrators who embrace cross-curricular integration and teaching, who are culturally competent, who are relational. We heard from the team from Western and Orangeview how important the engagement and relation means, and to Ron's point about some of our test scores or some of the things that you were citing, there is a relationship between engagement with students and academic achievement. And I think you're going to start seeing some real big numbers in the coming years, as early as this year, in terms of the work that's been done across the district. So this is huge. This is really huge. And I think it's, for the board to support something like this is money well worth spending.
Any more questions?
I just wanted to thank you for addressing why we're ratifying this agreement.
Yeah, okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, that's 5-0. Next is 10.30, order form, Diligent Corporation.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Do you have any questions on this?
I just had a comment. I just wanted to thank staff for working on this item. I know this will make our board agendas more accessible, both for staff and for the general public. So thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0, thank you. Next is 10.31, new board policy 10-200, in parentheses, 9200, limits of board member authority, first reading. Any questions? I just want to make a statement. This is something new to the district. We have not had any board policy on limits of board member authority. And in the exhibit, as in any exhibit on a board policy, it shows if there has been prior board policies, it will show the date and when it was approved. This one has TBD because it's to be determined if we're going to approve it down the road. But this policy, the board has actually had I guess you could say, an unwritten board policy amongst us of how the board would act in the district. And it was mentioned to the staff that probably we should bring this forward as a policy so the public can see what the board should be doing in relationships in the district. So that's why it's here. It comes from CSBA. CSBA has a whole plethora of board policies that we can pull from and use, modify, however we want to use it. This is one of them, so it came from CSBA, didn't come from staff and tell us, you know, this is what staff wants, this is not what staff wants, this is what the board wants. So I don't know if anybody else wants to say anything, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands that it did come from the board. And CSBL also offers what's called a Masters in Governance course, and that's for board members to, it's like a university. We take many, many classes, and at the end of all the classes, that teaches us, informs us how to be better board members, how to interface with the public, how to work with the superintendent, how to do this, how to do that. When you finish the courses, you graduate and you get a certificate. I think someone just graduated just recently,
yes.
so congratulations on
Thank you.
that. Yes. So that's just one thing that CSBA offers besides all the support mechanisms in the policy. So that's why the policy is here, and it'll come back for a second reading or action plan.
Mr. O'Neill, can you tell everybody what CSBA stands for?
California School Board Association.
Okay.
Yes. And the district is a member of it. Any other questions on it? Okay. Moving right along. Consent calendar. Anybody wishing to poll? I'm polling 1115 PPP and 1116.
Motion for the balance?
Second.
Okay. We have any questions? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item 1115 PPP and 1116.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Aye. That's 401. Okay. Moving right along here. We're now to item number 12, Board of Trustees report. Mrs. Smith.
I'm going to beg of you your patience. This is not about me, but it's a journey of becoming a trustee and learning. And I share this so that you all can understand how these changes occur over decades. When I was sworn on this board, I volunteered to join the ROP board. And after that, initially, I met with the superintendent over at the old original facility. And I asked him if I could make a tour of the facility. And I will tell you that the word was decrepit. And they had 2 trailers where women were working, and it was depressing. I couldn't imagine having to come to work every day on those conditions. And so to back up, when I came on the board, there were 2 older people that had served on that board for decades. And that is when Seal Beach was part of this school district. And over that period of time that they were there, it was so sad. And they never welcomed me when I came on the board, but the other board members did. So the first board meeting, there was an item, $30,000 to replace the roof of the main building. And when it came for me to vote, I made some kind of a comment like, don't anybody huff and puff because this place is going to fall down. And we had 3 yes votes and 2 no votes. So I spoke to the superintendent, a wonderful man, and he explained to me that this school district owned 6% of that huge property over there. And we arranged for ROP to buy that 6%, and that gave us the usage for that entire piece of property. And over the decades I'd lived in West Anaheim and driven past it, I always felt it was so bad for the people that owned homes there because it did not raise their level of quality. And so we sold the entire property to a developer. And it became Founders Square, lovely homes, gated community, upgraded the community economically, socially, and mentally. And so where were we going to go? And the property across the street was just newly erected. So the superintendent and I went over and took a look, and they were willing to rent it to us. So we did what we did, and we moved over there, and I served for 14 years. And over that period of time, there were numerous superintendents that retired, and we replaced them. And I learned something from observing and watching each one of these come new to that position and to this community. And we had, over the years, I was aware that we had let automotive classes go away. And then in time, people were saying everybody should go to college, which is just Fruit Loops. And so my goal in those 14 years was to upgrade what we did in ROP. And our programs are in need of automotive industry, energy industry, maritime industrial base to build submarines, manufacturing, and lack of skilled employees. So we have a challenge today, 2025. Our world has changed. The needs for this community to attune to what we need to do to offer our young people to find a pathway that they feel good and can have a productive, happy life. So my 14 years was not lost. I made many friends and I learned a lot. So all I can say in closing, I appreciate your patience with me, but this job has been an overjoy for me. And the people that I've worked with over the years have been nothing but joy and love. We are truly, all of us, you, every one of you, we're a family in this community. Thank you.
Mr. Hoshi?
You know, today it was like the first day of school. It was so much fun just watching like administrators and all these just leaders in the district just really embrace each other. And I just really feel like very fortunate. And I have a sense of gratitude being able to serve on the board because if you saw that today, I mean, I think it was all generated, Mike, by you. I mean, you've set a really good, story for our district to follow. But I just look out in the audience, and everybody puts a smile on my face, and the work that you're doing. And I want you guys to know, I look out there and I see how hard you guys all work, and you are seen and appreciated. And and with that said, I get to see and appreciate our students from some of the activities that I get the opportunity to go to. The UCI Leadership Parent Academy, we went to the culmination, a few of us, and to see 51 parents who stayed in the dorms and complain about the size of the showers, but they got to enjoy the food. And I really want to thank Carlos and his team, Araceli, Chavez, and Kenny, because they provided that opportunity, and it was a really hands-on thing. The highlight of that day also was 6 alumni from our district, from various schools, private schools, Cal States. They were the highlight to answer the questions, and it really gave a really clear picture of what people need to do. College admissions is changing, and so we have to keep updated on that. So thank you, Carlos, for that. The Summer Language Academy Showcase and Celebration, I want to thank our team for doing that too. The exciting part about that was the newcomer and EL students from all over the district getting together and seeing how they connect, but more so that they feel like part of our district, because they're not that lone person from that school, but they're making friends. And I was really happy to find out that we continue that on Saturday Academies, that program. And the gentleman from Cal State Fullerton is celebrating his 10th year. So I'm just really excited about all the work that's been done and that has continued to flourish. Most of us, I think, went and saw Legally Blonde, and I see Mr. Belsky back there. And what a great performance. Every single time I go, everything gets better. The sets get better. We have 2 projectors now, that are doing the change of scenery, the lighting, everything. Talk about Kaizen. It's just continuously improving every year. The talent of our students and just the technical aspects. So congratulations. Several of us went and got to go to the Disney AIM experience from all of the interns, and that was exciting. The most exciting part was meeting the new CEO or the president of Disney, and we got to go to his office. The kids got to go to his office, and that was exciting. And I remember one thing that resonated with me is that he says we hire for attitude and we train for skills. So I love that, because always having the best attitude, we could train people, but we can't train them how to have a better attitude. Really, so we have to hire for that kind of disposition. I was a judge for the KindSet presentations or their product pitches, and so I was fortunate to do that and see the kids, and they're going to be selling their products throughout the year. And then we went to the AIM networking breakfast, the culminating event where all of our partners, we got to enjoy a breakfast by our MAC and so forth. And I think maybe they'll say a little bit more about that. Trustee Guerrero and I were also at the Summer Career and Life Prep Academy culmination yesterday, sponsored by the United Way, and it's was really talking about connections, and half the students involved were from our district. So I just really like the fact how much our kids are taking advantage of that, but I want to get those opportunities out. And today was the last day for the MAC Farmers Market, and so they were selling products and produce and salsa and all these things that were just made by our students. And I was just, it just made me really proud to walk through that parking lot and just see our kids really, I mean, you know, they're really doing the real work. We're not talking about it. We're actually creating things, marketing, and like I said, I left that parking lot, and even though I'm tired today, I'm grateful. So thank you very much.
Mr. Alfredo?
I echo the sentiments of Mr. Hoshi, just how grateful I am to really be a part of this district. I'm going to forgo my comments about what I've done. I would like to really just take a pause for a minute and just really think about what we heard today with that Western and Orange View design, and really the transparency of that, the collaboration, the efforts to bring students and teachers and parents together with admin, and I love the comments about that it wasn't easy. It wasn't just, you know, a snap. It was confrontational. It was really, you know, taxing. And through that work, all of those folks are so proud of the end result, you know, to come here before us and tell us, you know, they're very excited. 2 years ago, this board was really, really heartbroken over that decision. It was not an easy decision to make. And to hear that today was extremely joyful. And I'm so proud of the work that we do here at AUHSD. We really, we don't take the easy road. We don't do top down. We don't tell people, you know, how to do it. We say we would like this done, and you guys make it happen. You're an amazing team. And as Catherine said, we really work as a family. And it's not always pretty and fun and exciting. We fight, we bicker. But in the end, we keep the focus on what's best for kids and the community. Today was another example. Did feel like the first day of school and the excitement in the air. But the excitement to get to the work and do the work. And I just really am grateful. Although what's really heavily weighing on my heart was the announcement made today as well. As much as we wish him well, we're a little bit heartbroken. You know, it's been an amazing ride to have you as superintendent. And I cannot, you know, tell you just really how grateful I am to have been a part of this journey with you. And I know there's more to come and more to say, but I appreciate you, and I appreciate really the fruition of what has come out of you being here. And you taking a risk on all of us and saying yes and putting your hat in the ring to decide to be superintendent. That was a very courageous and brave thing for you to do 11 years ago. So thank you.
Thank you. I want to echo some of my colleagues' comments and just really appreciate staff for a very busy summer. We had the UCI Summer Parent Academy that was mentioned, the Summer Language Academy, our AUHC Summer Arts Academy, and our AIM Summer Internship Program. So across the field, thank you to all of our staff that hosted those events and really for our students and our parents and our community. So thank you so much. I want to share a few comments about our immigration community updates that was shared earlier today as well. As we prepare for the new school year, I want to take a moment to sincerely thank our dedicated staff, Education Services, Business Services, Superintendent for their hard work in updating our protocols and making sure our schools are ready, especially as we continue to support our families amid ongoing concerns about immigration enforcement. As stated, our district remains committed to keeping our campuses safe, welcoming, and inclusive for all. I want to thank them for the thoughtful work and making sure we're getting input from both our community and parents. And I know we're in the process of training staff, so I want our families to encourage our families to stay informed by checking in during our school site registration and keeping an eye on areas as we prepare for the school year, as important updates will be shared in the coming days and weeks. I also want to express my gratitude to the many individuals, school communities, and partners who have stepped up in support of our families. I had the opportunity to attend the Catella High School Spirit Squad food distribution and Anaheim High School's food distribution. Both those teams both pulled from our Faces and Community Schools team across the district. So it wasn't just those two sites, right? It was across our AUHSD. And I just want to thank them for all their work in supporting our immigrant families during this time. And I also want to thank the partners that were part of that work, United Across Borders, many of our local churches, and local elected official offices for being part of that. Your compassion and commitment truly reflect the heart of this district. And I want to thank you for your continued support. And then I want to end my comments to Superintendent Mr. Masuda. Thank you for your leadership. You've helped shape not just how we educate, but why we educate, preparing our students for college, careers, and life. The vision that you have brought forward has built a strong foundation for future generations, and I want to thank you for the impact that you've done the past 11 years, and we look forward to celebrating you in the months to come. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, I have done many of what they have done, so I won't repeat that. I'll just mention how proud I am and how thankful I am to have the cabinet that we have to provide the leadership with their staff. And it goes it goes beyond the staff, including teachers, counselors, all of our CSEA, ASME, all of our members, all of our employees. It takes a village to prepare the schools for the next school year, to prepare the curriculum for the next school year, and to educate our students once they arrive in our doors. So I'm very proud of what has taken place this last year, and then all the work that has gone on during the summer to get ready. A lot of changes have taken place, as you've heard this evening. So I'm really excited to see the students when they, especially when I go to Orangeview Western or Western Orangeview, whatever, however we want to call it. I noticed when they were doing that, how they named it. So I'm not sure which door I'll be walking through first or back, walk in one, back out the other. I'm not sure how that will work. But when I visit the campus in total, I'm looking forward to seeing the excitement on everybody's face, and I know it's going to be an excellent opportunity for us for the future. So, Mr. Matsuda, you have 5.5 months to go, so let's see what you're going to do between now and then. I'm gonna ask Connie to keep track of your time here, make sure that you are clocking in and out properly, and we're getting our full benefit of your expertise and guidance. So, all right. So, with that said, thank you again for all that you've done this past almost 11 years. So, with that said, that was enough said. Do we have a motion?
I will motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry, wait a minute.
Oh, wait,
Advanced
skip.
planning, I blew it. Advanced planning, future meetings. Next meeting is August 7th, excuse me. Well, let's see, there's one in October 16th too, and yeah. Next one, August 7th, all right, day after school starts. So unfortunately, it's back to school attire. We now have to move from summer attire. So with that said, now we can go to assess suggested agenda items for next one. Seeing none, let's go to adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.